Hey, and welcome back to That Show with Mahy. My name is Stephen May, and today I'm talking to casting director Daisy Hicks. Now, Daisy has cast for TV, stage, and screen, and it's very, very exciting to be talking to her because it goes into another avenue of how can a music theatre performer create a successful self-tape. I hope you're enjoying this clip so far. If you have any comments or questions, please get in contact on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or even leave a comment on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching. Speak soon. Daisy Hicks, how are you?
I'm very well.
Great.
Very well. How are you?
Fantastic. I am excited in this new digital world of isolation to find out whether a music theatre performer can produce a successful self-tape. And the
Yeah.
reason why I ask, because everyone's like, oh, but it's, it's such a different medium and there's all this, there's all these differences. Other people love the idea and they're like, give me a chance. Let me self-tape every other day.
Yeah, totally.
As a
They're really like ends of the spectrum as well. I feel like there's no in between. People are either turbo on their self tapes or it's the last thing they want to do.
Yeah. So as a casting director, why, I mean, you know that. Why do you think people are like that?
Because I think that some people are really scared of the medium of film being thrown into their music theatre kind of training and world and style. I think everyone really has their own kind of approach to musical theatre auditions and that sort of thing. So when you throw like a camera, a microphone, maybe someone patching in digitally on a piano, or whether it's just a pre-recorded accompaniment, like there are just all of these mediums that the actor has to be in control of, that they're used to kind of walking into an audition room. It's everyone else's responsibility to take care of those things. So I think it adds a lot of pressure. And I think it's also the added medium of, being able to watch yourself back. People are their own best and worst critics a lot of the time.
Yeah.
I think can actually be harnessed for a really good thing. I think it's great to kind of know what you're looking like and that sort of thing. But I think that, us creatives are a very anxious people. And so I think that sometimes it's not the best thing for some people. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess you work for Eva Casting and you see different, like, it's either for a short film, a TVC, and people are, they're not necessarily singing, they might in some auditions, but
Yeah.
really, like, they're presenting the best version of themselves in every
Yes.
aspect of it. So can we, as, through song, shouldn't that just be the same thing? Like, should there have to be a difference between what I'm doing as a singer or an actor? I'm still doing exactly what you would see day in, day out. Am I right?
Exactly. You are. Yeah. You're always right, Stephen. No, I do. And it's something that I say to a lot of a lot of my friends in music theatre peeps, and the big thing is, it's just like, what you're doing, like just go in there and like do your thing, like get in front of the camera and do it. Like it's very much that thing that you're used to doing. It's just a little bit weirder now. And it's just, you're presenting the best version of yourself. You're doing the best version of the thing that you are required to do. Well, I guess in this case, that I think there are a few musicals casting off self-tapes at the moment that, you're doing that thing that you want to do or you've been asked to do. So, put your pair of bloody Nike leggings on and just do it.
So what makes a good self-tape then that just is a successful one? I guess that, we'll go back to successful in the sense that it's going to make you want to watch it, because if you're seeing 20 people, are you going to sit and watch 20, or are you going to go,
I feel really bad if I don't. I have to, otherwise I can't sleep at night. To the point where there's been projects where I've probably requested too many self-tapes, and I know that my director only wants to see like 10 or 15 per role, but just out of obligation, I still present all of them. And even if there's one or two that I've not uploaded for whatever reason, I'll wake up in the middle of the night and quickly like watch them and upload them and that sort of thing. So I do watch every self-tape just for my moral conscience.
yeah.
But what makes a good self-tape, especially for music theatre? I think, I mean, of course, all of the technical stuff, which a lot of people forget about, like it's still baffling to me that people haven't figured out like their sound balances, their lighting setup, um, their background. I don't mind what's considered like a messy background. You know, like maybe you've got like, I guess even mine, like I've got a bloody pillow, I've got my steamer on, I've got a painting and a plant. I don't mind that because realistically the focus is here on me. If I was sitting back here, I would find that to be very distracting. It's about focus and bringing us into you as opposed to us watching something, which is a really hard thing to explain, but it generally comes from placing yourself closer to the camera and not flat on a wall. It's just this weird thing, and I would encourage everyone who has a camera set up to do a take with you kind of sitting flush with the wall, like with your back to the wall or the screen or whatever you're using, but then actually giving yourself a bit of space behind you with the wall and being closer to the camera and more in focus. It makes a world of difference. It's hard to explain.
Yeah.
It just looks good. But also connecting with the camera in necessary moments, not necessarily eyeballing the camera because it's uncomfortable. You wouldn't do that to the panel.
Yeah.
You know, there's always, you know, maybe you've got like a little cheeky moment, you want to throw something down the barrel as almost like a little nod to the audience and continue on with your scene, or like it's just treat it like there's a panel watching you, because there is.
Yeah, right.
The moment with the casting that I've been doing, I've been watching a lot of tapes while on Zoom with the creatives I'm working with.
Okay.
So it very much is, you are being watched by a panel. So treat it like a normal audition. I would suggest a big thing that a lot of people do ask me with musical theatre self-tapes is how do you balance that medium of, you know, you sort of, you gesticulate a lot more, you tend to sort of act for the stage and not the screen in your music theatre auditions when you're in person. How are you supposed to pull it back for screen because it makes everything look so much bigger? I suggest just using a wider frame, so maybe framing yourself like from the belly button to the top of your head, just so we get to see a little more of you, so it looks like you are like we can tell what you're doing, as opposed to framing yourself here and seeing a lot of stuff going on. You know, because when we do watch you live, that's where we're like, you know, we're looking at the full you. I wouldn't frame yourself in full length for a scene or a song. I would frame in like a mid shot, from the waist up. And just that's kind of it in terms of how to do it, one that kind of stands out from the crowd, because if you take all of those things, like the technical things, into consideration and you treat it like it's an in-person kind of self-tape, that's a weird, like treat it like you're auditioning in person, it really works. And another thing as well is we can tell when this is your 40th take. You know, often you'll find that if you are prepared like you would be for your in-person audition, instinctively, and just like your adrenaline and that sort of thing will give you a good result. And sometimes the imperfections in a tape are the things we love the most. You know, so maybe your cat walks through the background of one and you think you need to do it again. No, because you become the person whose cat like walked through the background but they didn't break the scene. It's all about giving us you, not this perfectly polished and wonderful and your opening night performance. We just kind of want to see, you know, all the bells and whistles of you.
Yeah, great.